Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. That Steve Kerr is a successful coach, no one can deny. But Steve Kerr has difficulty recognizing the ability of the player Jonathan Kuminga, and many times Kuminga is in great form and cannot be an absolute starter, and at other times his minutes are reduced. Kuminga has the potential to be a star, and Steve Kerr has stated that the player will remain on the bench when he returns to play due to a serious injury. Kuminga wants more minutes, and this could lead him to leave the Warriors, because there are several teams that want the player, such as the Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks. Jonathan Kuminga's future is uncertain, and he should leave the Warriors at the end of the season. The Golden State Warriors continue their charge for the playoffs after securing their fourth win in 5 games, but it could be costly for one returning star. Steve Kerr's side shared the scoring around in the 108-132 win over the Sacramento Kings, with 4 stars scoring 20-plus points. There is little doubt that Jimmy Butler has made an instant impact on the side since his trade from the Miami Heat. He already has his eyes on a potential championship ring. While the Warriors appear to have found their groove, it could mean a tough return for Jonathan Kuminga, whose injury break may have proven costly. Kuminga has not been seen for the Warriors since January 4th, which was a huge injury blow to a Warriors team struggling for creativity. The 22-year-old was producing some of his best basketball before the injury, so much so that the Warriors appeared to change their mind about using the star as a trade piece. The Congolese forward was averaging 16-5-2 before sustaining his sprained right ankle against the Grizzlies at the start of the year. Since the arrival of Butler, however, the gap left by Kuminga has become much less noticeable, and Kevin Garnett explained how this will allow the star to take his time on his recovery. The team's success may come at the detriment of Kuminga's starting spot, which he worked hard to obtain. Coach Kerr explained how it would be tough to change a winning side. J.K. Jonathan Kuminga was coming off the bench before he got injured, and he was playing really well. He was playing 30-plus minutes, and we had that rotation before he got hurt. We're obviously playing well right now, hopefully that continues, but I'm never going to commit to anything because it's all dependent on how we're playing. If we keep playing like this, then we'll keep starting this way. View tweet. Kuminga's expected return. While Kuminga may see his role slightly adapt in the Warriors team following the addition of Butler, he will be returning to a much stronger outfit. It appears the days of struggling in games may be behind the Warriors, and the experience of Butler should help Kuminga thrive. Kerr was asked by reporters when Kuminga would return to practice. He looked good, but he hasn't scrimmaged yet, so he's still a ways off. There is little doubt that the youngster's return will certainly add more firepower to a Warriors side that appears to be clicking at the right stage of the season. The Warriors have found their starting lineup. In a season in which the Golden State Warriors have used 33 different starting lineups, they're gearing up for their push toward the 6th seed with a concrete idea for continuity in the starting 5. Steph Curry, Brandon Podziemski, Jimmy Butler, Moses Moody, and Draymond Green. That's the 5 Steve Kerr wants to roll out for the rest of the year, as long as they stay healthy and keep playing the way they have been. I imagine we'll stay with this lineup, and I hope so, because we've had a million different starting lineups this year, Steve Kerr said after the Warriors waxed the Sacramento Kings. It'd be really nice to stick with this for the rest of the season. Starting Green at center is bold, and it's a move the Warriors were reticent to make earlier this year. But in a sprint toward the playoffs in the final third of the season, concerns about wearing Green down take a back seat. Butler, at 6'7", is actually the tallest player in the lineup. His and Green's physicality and instincts can make up for lost height on both ends of the court. The main theme coming out of the Warriors' locker room after their win over Sacramento was limiting turnover. Butler described taking care of the ball as maximizing their shots on goal, referencing soccer. Butler settles down possessions by bullying his way to the line. He's a player the Warriors can give the ball to at the end of the shot clock to save them. He plays off 2 feet, giving him the ability to make decisions in the lane without getting caught in the air. We always talk about as long as we don't turn the ball over, we're always going to be in a great position to win, Butler said. Because we know we're going to score. It's only when we get careless with the ball, that's when teams come back in the game, that's when everybody's body language changes. So, shots on goal. The Warriors are 4-1 with Butler, who has immediately given them a sense of confidence and swagger. But when it comes to the starting lineup, the Warriors were always going to include Curry, Butler, and Green. They're their 3 best players. Finding the 2 around them that make the most sense is the tricky part. Moody has staked a real claim. After 3 seasons of rotational tug-of-war, he has established himself as a glue guy, floor spacer around the Warriors' star playmakers. Golden State is 8-0 in games Moody starts, including on Friday night when he set a season high with 22 points on 8-for-11 shooting. I think just the confidence that's come from consistent playing time and minutes, Kerr said of Moody. And he's a good fit. Playing next to BP, Steph, Jimmy, Draymond, those guys are all playmakers. He can play the role he's most comfortable in, which is space the floor, let it fly when he's open, play hard, compete. Podziemski at the off-guard position gives the group another initiator. His off-ball movement against Sacramento was excellent, and Green raved about him getting up 20 shots. The Warriors often plead for him to shoot, and he certainly got the notice against the Kings. Since returning from his abductor strain a month ago, Podziemski has looked every bit the kind of player Golden State expected him to be after his strong rookie season. Around Butler, Podziemski and Moody slot into roles they can really thrive in. I think it's coming into shape well because Moses is playing great and BP is playing great, Green said. Those 2 guys playing the way they're playing, it's really elevated all our lineups, but in particular, that lineup. Even when Jonathan Kuminga returns from his severe ankle sprain, Kerr anticipates sticking with Podziemski and Moody in the starting lineup. Kuminga was coming off the bench before his injury, while he was playing the best basketball of his career. As long as he's playing heavy minutes, starting or being a 6th man doesn't matter to the 4th-year wing. Kerr's preferred starting lineup has a 4.8 net rating, 3rd best on the team among combinations that have played at least 30 minutes together. I like it, Butler said. I do. You've just got some feisty individuals out there fighting, scrapping on both sides of the ball. Small or not, we're getting it done. Biggest winners of Warriors' Jimmy Butler trade are starting to emerge. The young duo are firing. The Golden State Warriors made a brilliant start to their post-All-Star break schedule on Friday night, demolishing the Sacramento Kings in a 132-108 victory at Golden One Center. After building some momentum prior to the break, the Warriors continued their impressive recent play to move to 4-1 since Jimmy Butler's arrival. While so much of the focus has been on the new star pairing of Butler and 2x MVP Stephen Curry, the veteran duo didn't have to do a whole lot from a scoring standpoint in Friday's win. The best aspect to Butler's arrival has been his ability to make others better. While Andrew Wiggins was a very good player in his own right, the 2022 All-Star was never making life easier for his teammates in a way Butler can and has with his playmaking capacity. Warriors duo might be the biggest winners from Jimmy Butler trade. While a number of teammates are feeling the benefit of Butler's arrival, none may have been helped more so than young duo Brandon Podziemski and Moses Moody. Both were already finding good form prior to the Butler trade, but have since taken an even bigger leap that's subsequently making the Warriors a far more formidable outfit. Podziemski and Moody, along with an improved performance from Buddy Hield, were arguably the biggest of the host of positives to emanate from the win over the Kings. Moody drilled 5 threes and had a season-high 22 points, having shot 8 of 11 from the floor while continuing to show an ability to attack closeouts and finish off the dribble. Podziemski had 21 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists, finishing as a +21 in 30 minutes of game time. Most importantly for Golden State, the young pair don't appear afraid to take and make the big shots, an incredibly important element given defenses will continue to load up on Curry and Butler. Neither Podziemski or Moody were starters in Butler's first game as a Warrior just 2 weeks ago, yet have since solidified roles in a starting lineup that's beginning to cement itself after so much change across the course of the season. Podziemski, in particular, appears to have a strong chemistry with Butler already. Of the 161 minutes the 6X All-Star has played with Golden State so far, Podziemski has been alongside him on the floor in 114 of them. The pair share a 20.5 net rating in those minutes, ranked second on the team of any two-man combination to play at least 100 minutes together this season. On the other hand, Moody is starting to develop into the 3-and-D wing Warrior fans have envisioned for years. The 22-year-old ranks second on the team behind Curry in three-point percentage, of players to take at least 73s, with that element becoming all the more important given neither Butler nor Draymond Green are legitimate spacing threats. Many have characterized the Warriors into the veteran trio of Curry, Butler, and Green, along with Jonathan Kuminga as the X-factor who could become a big-time star. But it shouldn't be ignored if Podziemski and Moody can consistently deliver at this level, that's a fifth and sixth option that few teams around the league possess.